A lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again Sktv venue. Say my journey, Tina get as say my jamo. And yes, I know money, the more I get you. And you love the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather, Nimba to Lufa. From River Sass, River G to Chide. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Bakolu. From Maryland, Bonk to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Oh yes, indeed, Sktv it is the best in Liberia. Sktv it is the best in Africa, and Sktv it is the best around the entire globe, right, folks? What a way to say the pleasant good. What's the time like? 2 minutes. Wow, 2 minutes past 6. That's the time check. Our pleasant good evening and welcome to the Monday edition. Today is 17. Wow, I don't know how come, but this year is no look. Some of the months you have to take your own time. We have government though. The people have to govern the right. So if you are running a deal with speed, then you would put pressure on the people. You know, you gotta stop. Yeah. Some of the months you gotta stop. So folks, good evening and welcome. Please let's share the show. Those of you who just joining us, let's share the show. Indeed, today is Monday. A wonderful Monday, a good Monday, and yes, a great Monday. Don't mind some of the noise in the market, you know. When the kind of Monday come, then we celebrate, we enjoy ourselves, you know. But again, welcome, please. Let's share the show. Those of you who just joining us, just go straight on the page at the Sktv. Just give us a like, share, and comment. That's the only thing they can give to us. We really appreciate you for that. And we also want to say thank you to all of you. Cyprian Cody will be joining us very, very soon from Nimba County. Mind you, the National Election Commission today gave their timetable for the by-elections in Nimba County. So we'll also dive into that. But I think if you see beneath our name, they are right under the microphone. This thing that is passing for those of you who are watching or who viewing us. You will see all of the things that we'll be discussing here today, especially when we have to do with the Sktv show on Monday. So again, a great Monday to be alive, and we thank God. You know, by this time, let me tell some of you, maybe you don't even know. By this time, Sktv can be all around. You know, the traffic we can block by this evening time. It can be easy. So share the show. Share the show. So many things we'll be talking about. Share the show and invite somebody. Those of you who have the loudspeaker. I don't know. I met from Sandler County. Yeah, a long time though. In fact, I even intend to bring on one time. But unfortunately, yeah, my brother from Sandler County, Mississippi Street. I think you, yeah, please. I know the speaker is loud. Sorry, my brother will always recognize you, and I hope and pray that at least if you even following us, sometimes you got to come on and give us some of the updates exactly about what happening in San County and so forth, because we will be having a lot of reporters, a lot of team members who will also be relaying, or those of you who are always relaying the show, even though we may not maybe know you like that, but please, we just want to say thanks to all of you. Yes, Mark will be here very, very soon, and we'll be too busy today. Interesting Monday. Yes, we have Nimba County with us here. That is Cyprian Cody from the Truth Nimba. He will be here always to give us all of the updates from Nimba County. So they are all setting up. Muna will be here. My brother Lawrence Moore are giving us some G's. There are some things happening in Bon County, especially when it comes to China Union. Getting a lot of reports coming from that end. Lawrence too will be joining us very, very soon. Yes, on this platform to give us some updates about what happening there in Bon County, where James Kohler, is that James Kohler and that what kind of formula again? Foley formula. Thank you. The man who can talk about the King Juice. Yeah, the man who can talk about the King Juice. It's a liquor talk. So in that our county, let me tell some of you, there where Lawrence comes from. Lawrence comes from Foley formula, and that what kind of Kohler? James Kohler, yeah. Two of them from the county that there were my brother Lawrence Moore, they were. But again, my people, it's a very, very basic Monday. So many things happening. Don't take anything for joke. All of the information we will be telling you, all of the happening. Thank God that our people will have most of our team members in the US. So no matter some of the information that even if your government want to have some things for you, our people will tell us exactly what's going on, because we got to let you know. So that will be like, so when you come here, just come with all of your willing heart, open mind, and so forth. And Monday, Monk is already here, no time to waste. Let me see how best to get Monk on the show. My good brother and friend, good evening, and what's up? I know it's afternoon time.
Yeah, it's past 1 o'clock, yeah, afternoon, 1 minute after the half day mark, a little over the half day, 12 noon. It's 1:01 in the Central Standard Time here for Central Standard Time in the Midwest. But anyway, good to be here. Once again, to the listening audience, we are here, ready to rock and roll Monday, first day of the week, and a lot of stuff happening, both domestic and international. But I think we'll focus on the domestic news for now, because we want to scramble on the show to make sure we can get it most. So we won't be wasting our time on so many extra topics. We just narrate 3 to 4 talking points, and that's it. And we'll make sure we can maximize the hours, the 1.5 hour. Technically, because when you look at the time, the callers can call and then we'll have to respond and then give imparting comments for the day. So I would say make the most out of the time. That's it. Nothing more.
Great. Thank you, my dear brother. Indeed, you are correct. A basic Monday today, and so many things to talk about among already said. So again, let me see what Cyprian said. See Cyprian, I don't know what he said already. Cyprian Cody, good evening and welcome to the SK TV show. All right. So it's like Cyprian Cody still setting up behind the same. So yeah, so Mark, like you, all right, I see Brother Cassidy, but let me see whether he's ready. Because Monk already is no time to waste. We want to get all of the time in. We want to make good use of the time so that you can enjoy the show and be able to understand exactly what we'll be discussing and what are some of the things that we'll be saying. Yes, Confident D, what's up? Thank you for thank you too also for all of you, all of you, what you do for the show and so on. Let me see. But like I said, remember you already live on the show. No time to waste, my dear. Brother and friend, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Bibon. How are you doing?
Well, I'm great.
How are you?
God for life. Yeah, we're fine. Thank God for life. And you? How you doing?
Yeah, it been some time, but thank God we're here today, and a lot of things are going on. So during the course of the show, we will give a lot of information out to the public, because we are working for the people now, so we have to do due diligence to to them.
Great. So indeed, thank you. Even though you said that it's been a little while and we will be missing you people, but thank God at least that you'll be able to be with us here today. And in fact, how's the weather condition quickly?
Well, we are in the dry season, but I think for the last 2 days we experienced rain for the first time. That giving hope to the farmers because the sun have been disturbing the farmers. The crops are not coming on the right way, but at least the rain in 2 days is okay. Farmers are happy. At least they get small rain.
Great. Let me bring Cyprian Cody. I saw Cyprian Cody being the same trying to set up. Yeah, Cyprian Cody, you are live. Good evening, my dear brother. And
yeah, Nimba, I'm here. I'm right here.
Good. So give us what's up? What's going on there in Nimba County?
Good evening. Good evening. Nimba, good evening. It's good to have you on, and I'm happy to be on the Sktv. The only thing I will not do today is that I will just be in the bike because we got something happening here in the at the radio.
Oh, okay. I know sometimes there are some major upgrading and so forth. But thank you, Cyprian Cody, for joining us, and I hope and pray that our people also there in Nimba County, they will get all of the best that we will be talking about here this evening. Yeah, so Mark, no time to waste. Our team are already here. Later on, Mona will be joining us. I think they are setting up. Mark, quickly, we got to go. No time. We got to manage all our time for our people.
Yeah, for sure. Most likely we got to manage our time. I don't think, for me, I don't know for the day. I've been following 3 stories. The passport saga because it seems like it's a blame game. Everybody trying to point fingers. Then the hauling and pulling. I've been following the social media between our own chairmanability and the vice president about people trying to influence and put their thumb on the nail. I mean, on the scale in the upcoming Nimba County special election, and then. Another event that I followed was the Speaker of the House from Ghana telling our lawmakers to get back to the negotiation table. I mean, the negotiating table, something that ECOWAS lamented earlier. Some people say looking at the Supreme Court. I don't know where they got their own civics lesson from. The Supreme Court is going to ruin the legislative impasse. I don't know. And that's exactly what he's saying. It seems like he took all his talking point from Sktv on this matter that if you take a legislative impasse to the Supreme Court, it means you are asking for interfering, judicial interference, which is also a constitutional violation. That is exactly what he said. He talked about if the lawmakers cannot work together, there is no need to call themselves lawmakers because they are a body. They should be able to handle their own dispute. And he talked about that, but we'll get to that. But I just think those 3 topics were the one that caught my attention over the weekend and up to today's date.
Great. Thank you, Mark. So let's go to Brother Cassidy before we go to Cyprian Cody in Nimba County. Brother Cassidy, what's up? Bon County.
Okay. Nimba and Monk, the rest of the panelists and the listeners, the followers. Over the weekend, our attention was drawn to the meeting held by the Joint Committee of the House of Representatives, that is the Committee on Concession and Investment, involving the invited Channel Union on the table to give report on activities of the company, and that report is divided into 2 issues that they have done and plan of action for the next year. And in that report, we get to understand that Channel Union has spent some money. Channel Union has spent some money, and if you come in the community, maybe you won't even know that there's a company that exists in this place. People are living in an poverty. People are not working, and we're having this company. I always talk about this company because that's the biggest investment we have in Liberia. All right, so the report tells us that Channel Union have contributed community contribution fund. That was determined. Community contribution fund. 2 million they promised to pay, and we got to understand last year they paid $1 million. for the community development. And you come in this community, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening since we saw Yellow Machine came and done, 5 phase of the road, and we were told that by the dry season they're going to put a quota. But up to now, nothing is. We haven't seen any effort being made. All right. So the report is telling us that China you have paid $1 million in 2024. They pay $1 million for community development. And besides that, China Union have also paid $100,000 for land rental. So where are the money going? Why the people in the community are not benefiting from this money, for this investment? And we have one representative who is not even care about how his people are doing, their upliftment. All he cares about himself. So maybe this is the talk of the town. Everybody, a lot of people are concerned where the money is going.
All right, but I can
how was APA who received it? Yeah.
We were not getting you because maybe based on the internet or something will happen maybe from your end. But thank you so much. But I know Mark and myself we already planning on how to discuss or maybe to go into some of the concessions agreements and so forth that have been quote unquote signed by the Liberian government. And thanks to you also for bringing out these things. And I hope and pray that you will get everything set maybe either tomorrow or maybe Wednesday by God's grace, so that we can really ask our people about some of the concessions agreements, how important, what are some of the concession agreements are making impact in their life or not. So thank you, Brother Cassidy, and let's move straight to Cyprian Corey from Nimba County, where the National Election Commission has released their guideline or the timetable for the by-elections in Nimba County. That will be on the 22nd of April. Cyprian, it's up to you, and thank you again for joining us. Okay, well, so it's like Cyprian having some, maybe he's a little bit basic behind the scene. But those of you who, let me see, of some of you are commenting, and let me say good evening to all of you, Rabas Bengba, Felicia Free Wallo, or you Muntu Asado Mensa, Asatu Odonsi, Sifos, and the rest of you there. Let me say good evening to all of you. We'll be reading out your comments, but we have our 3 major talking points and today, and like Monk already started. So we went to talking point 1. Monk, I don't know which, but we have 3 already in our discussion here today that have to do with the by-elections in Nimba County. The Ghanaian House Speaker calling for peace and reconciliation in the House of Representatives right in Liberia, and also the U.S. planned visa restrictions on Liberia, and that will also be our major talking point here on today. But so let's go quickly to one of our talking points, which of course I think we will go straight into the visa restrictions, because mind you, the Foreign Affairs Minister was not too long seen at the Liberian Senate, where she was quizzed about what happening, some of the happening in Liberia, especially when it comes to the U.S. and the visa restrictions. And she also said that, in fact, the Liberian government having getting any official communication coming from the U.S. embassy right here near Monrovia to explain or to tell us exactly that the U.S. government have a Liberia place on the visa restriction. So as far as she's concerned, the government haven't received any official communication. So whether it's true or not, the government yet to really respond to that. And it passed nearly 24 hours since that information came out. Well, up to date, we haven't received any official communications from government, and hopefully on today, the Foreign Affairs Minister make it clear that indeed they haven't received any official communication from the U.S. Embassy. In fact, she said she also contacted the U.S. Ambassador, and the U.S. Ambassador also said that he still trying to verify this information, but he can't say yes and he can't say no. Monk, what say you?
Well, it's just a matter of when they will get it. It's not if they are going to get it. First of all, it was a draft list. And I told you it was an exercise, right? When you go to the State Department website and the foreign mission here, they'll tell people that it's the Department of Homeland Security or the State Department, the U.S. government, other intelligence or agency or apparatus that came up with that draft list. So it will still get to the president. It's just a matter of when it will get there, and the Liberian government will be notified officially. So once the exercise is done completely, but those were the preliminary list of countries that were submitted, so more than likely they will be receiving their package very soon. So it's not about if they will receive it; it's just when they will receive it. That's what happening here.
Then,
Yeah.
Mark, I'll quickly follow up. Then the countdown, because if you go back to that release also talk about 60 days, and the countdown. If you start to count, you will know that in fact we have 58 more days to go. So in the midst of that, what say you?
But if they will make it retroactive if they are 60 days, like they put Labro on the yellow for quarter for the severity of the offense, because for Labro mostly about compliance issue, not sharing information, all that, right? They give three different categories. So once they can give them that information, then that's when they will start counting from. So they can say, oh, because we are 1 week or 2 weeks before getting the notification, so it means we are less than 60 days. No, they will decide on that when they serve the government officially about their response to that initial draft list. That's when I believe they will start counting from, then the clock start ticking. That's how it works.
Great. Well, thank you. I just wanted to just chip in on that. But let's move on that. Among even in the midst of all of these things, Mark, what say you with the entire passport saga like we have been placed on the yellow? Because mind you, we are on the yellow listing. That is,
Mhm.
we are at least or someone will say at least we are lucky, or maybe we are blessed at least to be part of the yellow, not the red. Because the red, that means you are strictly been banned. So, Monk. So in the midst of all of the holding and putting the blame safety and so on, because that's the major one, people are saying,
Mhm.
okay, it was the previous government. The
Mhm.
previous government was also saying, no, it was you before because this thing happened 2012, around 2012. How
Yeah.
can you want to shift all of the blame on us? Even in the current government, people are also saying, no, that thing also happened even in the previous government because we saw a German national also who also giving Liberia diplomatic passport. So, and that will also, talk about. So, in the midst of all of the uh, blame shifting and everything, Monk, I want you to take maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Go ahead and tell the Liberian people the positive and then the negative part of all of the holding and putting with the entire visa restrictions and so forth.
Well, the thing is the long-term implication and the whole culture. You see, that's why I keep telling folks. In the case of Liberia, it seems like every time we oscillate between CDC and Unity Party, we are digging ourselves for bigger trouble. That's why it seems that because you cannot give a better standard. You got two worst instances here where when you blame one person, say, oh, but the other guy did it too. When you blame the other guy, no, the other person did it too. And that's what keeps happening in every aspect of our life, from political to social to economic. Now it's reaching to the international scene, to the foreign mission. Because look at the implication. I think I listened to Akaros Gray and one other guy they call, I don't know, Ambulai and stuff. That you know how he described it. Oh, Madam Sali sold passport to journalists. George Biya sold passport to criminals, drug dealer, and money launderer. And Joseph Boaga refused to investigate, so he himself also guilty of the crime because he only raised the consent after the red flag came from overseas. So it's a cultural thing. It's a pattern between these two political institutions. If anything one person can do, the other can do worse. That's just why it is. We don't have any tear outlet. We don't have any alternative because that's just how the system it's been happening for years. It started with Madam Salif administration. So it means the Weah government was justifying their action too by selling. I think you can remember the passport scandal that involved Western Guy and other folks. So this is nothing new. It's just a continuation. And the problem is in the long term, the country and the regular people are the one that are going to feed the weight. Everything. Look, I won't be surprised if Labra is slapped with an economic embargo or sanction in the coming years. I won't be surprised. especially with this new administration here, I won't be surprised. Because look, my brother, if people keep warning you, if people keep giving wrong intelligence about you, if people keep talking about there are loopholes and you are not meeting international standards, you keep giving. And the sad thing about Liberia is about selling passport to individuals that are from countries that are banned. So it's almost like double violation. You're not only giving passport to criminals and drug dealers, people that are from countries that are already banned from entering in the US. These are some of the people you are selling passport to. So it means you are in total disconnection with the US foreign policy. I'm not here to preach US foreign policy. I'm just saying, in the case of Liberia, the ordinary people are the one that always become the victim. And when you go do the background check, it either comes from CDC or Unity Party. So we are stuck. I don't know how can we say on this show. My brother, let me give my man Mr. Kessel for my time
Yes,
to go
yes,
ahead.
indeed, more. Thank you. So, Laveto Benjamin and Kim Okuma or Peola, let me tell you, I didn't say that the woman said that Liberia on the list. No, she said that they are not officially informed. Please, some of you just run around with
All
feelings.
right.
We don't want to do
The man said the thing right. You want to start the statement.
I make the thing very clear. Yeah, you be betting all sort of things. I said the lady said that in fact she is not aware, or Liberia is not officially aware as to whether it's true or not on the entire information about Liberia being placed on the list. Yeah, man. By the way, but I can say, go ahead, my dear.
Yeah, Mabon, the issue of passport is, as Mabon said, is not a new story. It's always happening. Last administration, you saw the passport that had been, suspended. He was taken to court, and that case went the way it went. At the end of the day, the court ruled, I think, in his favor. But at the end of the day, the US brought, visa restriction on him. In fact, they banned him from entering the US. That's, so the issue of passport in Liberia, I want to believe that that ministry is what is where they survive. Maybe they put it that way. Those who work in that ministry, that's the department they survive from. Because it's always the case. I think just in that time, Liberia had the highest ship on sea, flying using the flag. And I'm told, I said to be corrected, each of those ships that flies our flag, we didn't have Liberians working there. But Liberians are not working there. But some of those who work on the ships, you look at, you check, they got Liberian passport. They got a Liberian passport. How did they get it? How did they get it? And it's not strange. It's not, it got big hands behind it. Let me just put it that way. It got big hands behind it. It got big hands behind it. The president is aware. The minister is aware. That's a deal. But the only thing about it, the ordinary Liberians suffer, as Mabon said. Because if anything that will come negative, ordinary Liberians will suffer it. Even the Liberian who supposed to go to the US to do business, maybe to visit their family, they won't be able to go because somebody is sitting somewhere carrying on clandestine acts that will affect the entire country. So we just unfortunately, I also got Liberia is an unfortunate country because things that people have to, other countries are going forward, other countries are going ahead, other countries are developing, other countries are developed, but Liberia, we are retrogressing on a daily basis. So it's just unfortunate for us. Maybe
you know what got my attention on the whole passport issue, right? It just seemed like every time you take one step ahead, you take 10 steps backward, right? You remember the president recently just launched this whole visa on arrival program, right? You say you want to make the traveling process easy for business people, for tourists to come to the country. And the next thing you know, you are on the travel ban list. What made you think? Isn't that a contradiction? Isn't that a self-inflated wound that you want to encourage tourism and investment to the country? And every time this international report or assessment come out, you always on the bar list. What make you think people will feel interested in coming to a country like that? that the justice system is broken, lawmakers got legislative impasse, the executive branch is caught in the scandal that people think that they can sell passports to criminals, and then you are telling the world that, oh, we want to make the traveling process easier, we want to streamline the process so you can encourage more people to come to the country, when in fact every day you are literally strangulating your own government with your bare hands every single day. And for some reason, I don't know if the thing is a curse or it's some psychological or mental issue, that the bad actors, maybe the people that present the worst option for Liberia are always given front row seat in our politics. They are the one that always the closest to the presidency, and every time we go in that direction, only the regular people will keep carrying the brunt of this burden. That's why I keep saying I don't want to sound political on this issue because I understand the whole historical aspect of it. But it seems like these two political parties will keep putting Liberia in the trash can for as long as we exist, because there is no better option between these two. Anytime one president go one way, the other president will come and do the complete opposite rather than moving in the right direction. That's just why it seems like, and it's happening every day. For even Steve wanted to see it happening in Liberia. That's just how bad it is.
Yes,
stop there.
Mark, so before we get to Supreme Court, let me just come in with my own. Let me be frank, Mark. Some of us, we've been observing Liberia governance system for a little time now, during our time on this eye. And I can still recall Liberia was on sanction. I don't know, Mark, I think you can still recall that was the time of former President Chagan.
Oh yeah, doing the teller thing. Yeah, this same thing, bringing illicit or business people to the country, people that have no credible business owner, people that are into money laundering around the world, whether it was the Victor Bolt of Russia, whether it was this company, how they can call it, say one money company I can remember picking Liberia at the time in high school, Creator Diamond, all these criminal money laundering, they call it investment, because at the end of the day, when you got bad record, I told you, Mabel, the very first thing business people look at is the environment, political, social environment. Nobody going to invest money that is politically unstable. So you won't get regular or recognizable investor. When your country is on the ballot, you only attract criminals and money launderers into your country. That's how they tell the administration any unsanctioned. So it won't be strange if it happened to Liberia, because it keeps happening over and over repeatedly. That's the kind of a cycle we find ourselves in.
Okay, good. So, like I was saying, you know, chartered government was sanctioned, even including some chartered government officials or hierarchy, maybe some prominent government official, but then including our senator right now, Senator Eden Mervyn Snow, Siri Allen, Bena Yue, and so on. They were all sanctioned. But guess what? When Malasadi took over, she decided to say, okay, I had to negotiate with Washington and be able to get my country back, you know, to the world, so that at least people will be able to come here to invest. So Malasadi struggled hard and negotiated with Washington through George Bush and so forth, and they get all of the sanctions, everything was lifted. But those individuals that were placed on self-sanction and so forth, they remain sanctioned, even up to date. So what I'm trying to say is that Malasadi fought hard to maintain a relationship between Washington and that of Liberia, and that worked hard. That was very good. The previous government came, they were dangling, they were doing this, they were doing all kinds of things until they had to summon the former president, President George Manawia. That was the only time that, in fact, they get a little bit cold.
At the CIA headquarters of all places.
Thank you. So at that moment, they felt that, oh, it looked like this thing is getting serious. Until even they had to sanction almost 4 government officials. This government come to power. I thought they were going to look at some of the mistakes and watch out to know exactly where the government falls short to work on things. But instead, they were also trading the same line. Even to the extent that the July 26, July 26, Washington was seriously embarrassed until they got to walk out. Man, my question to you, I come here,
go ahead.
Because my question to you and that of Cassidy and our brother Supreme Court will be like, who's going to talk for us as a country? Even if Liberia is on the listing, 100% we're going to talk for us. Because, mind you, Mark, we disgrace or we embarrass Washington, knowing it and unknowing it. thinking that we are going to score political goal on Washington. But today, with all of the news, it's indeed terrible. It is embarrassing. Like you just stated, this is a clear line that Liberia may likely be censored on so many reasons, because the corruption is glaring, the lack of rule of law is glaring. Everything that you think about here is also happening on this regime. When you talk, people get angry. So, Monk, that question go back to you and that about Kesseley. Even if the government conclude and say, yes, we officially received the communication, because again, Senator Dava did not today in that same, in fact, gathering again today, we're even blaming, oh, when you go for a visa, oh, you can't be happy, all kinds of things again today, again, that some of them, they will say, talk. So, Monk, who's going to really talk for Liberia for us to be on the safe side so that our people can struggle? Because if a visa restriction is placed on Liberia, that means that, for example, people like us that wouldn't be having the kind of free access to go to the US.
Maybe, but let me tell you something. I don't know who's going to talk, because looking at like I said, looking at the historical aspect, it's been coming from one administration to another. And at this stage, if nobody can put an end to this thing, like I said, the politician, I think you heard it from Syrian Allen one time that he's been on sanction for almost 30 years and it never impacted his life, because he's well positioned economically. He got some leverage he could use, not the ordinary Liberian, not the old man that's selling her bitter bar or selling her live fish in the market, or her son trying to follow his studies. They are the one that will be impacted. And for me, I'm sensing this issue of, like I said, politicians will make decisions for expediency, right? It's mostly relating to generational shift as well. Because I know growing up in Liberia, you can make the argument all you want. When you hear anything coming from America, it scares everybody in the country, right? I don't think the same thing is happening in today's environment. And maybe the politician can sense it. Because I know back in the day, every president that comes in power, you can make the argument. America has been one of the largest donors to Liberia. You can say maybe some of the investment, you cannot show the impact, but you cannot deny the fact that more money went to Liberia in the billions, right? That went to that small little country. But the question here is, why is this shift happening? Because back in the day when America even tried to interfere in Liberian politics, people would try to get in line. But it seems like we are trying to put fingers in the face of America, like, you know what, we could care less. Because you see them voting for sanctioned criminals and putting them back and giving them 9-year job permanently. So it seems like when U.S. threaten Liberia with sanctions these days, it doesn't scare the ordinary person. It's like, we can just do what we want to do here. Even if we pay the price economically or politically, we could care less. I mean, you don't have that much of a power or leverage. That's how it seemed like to me, because when I was growing up in Liberia as a kid, once you hear something coming from the U.S., even the president, why do you think Madam Saliba want to come to America to try to lobby just to get Liberia in America's good book? Because she understood the consequences of stepping on Uncle toes. So I don't know. Maybe it's a different generation, it's a different mindset in the country now. But I just know. Maybe let me tell you my biggest fear in Liberia. Liberia is still a country that is aid dependent and remittances dependent, right? The U.S. still control the SWIFT banking system in the world. The U.S. currency is still the #1 reserve currency in the world, even though people try to rival her now, right? Whether it's the BRICS currency or other economic system that is being put in place. Man, worst fear for Liberia, knowing fully well we have friends, we have families, we have relatives over there that depends on mostly people from overseas. If the U.S. was to put an economic embargo or sanction on Liberia, wherein we will be denied the leverage of using the SWIFT banking system. Do you know what will happen in Liberia? And that's my fear. I hope we don't reach to that point. So I'll stop there for now, maybe.
Great. To even add up to you to what you were just saying about Uncle Sen or Washington, let me tell you today, that was one of the greatest downfall of former President Charles Gangé Taylor. And he admitted that. Charles felt that, but I can fight Washington. Who is Washington? I can fight Washington because I have all of the country resources, I have the diamond, I have everything under my control, I have security, I can go to maybe to North China or what kind of China or East China, any kind of China.
Taiwan. I can go to Taiwan.
Go to Taiwan and and buy guns and do this and do that, you know, and just get everything under my control. So I don't need Washington. But guess what? Only one statement that Washington made. George Bush said, Chancellor should leave and should leave now. And what happened? He left. So when we come here, some of you, I hope that you're getting records on some of these things that we are saying today. But again, but like I said, what say you? who's going to really be there for us as a country right now in the troubling time? Because this is indeed troubling time. Let me tell you, follow up quickly, $100 million worth of drugs. We don't even know how the drugs were entered in this country. It was the same Washington. It was the same Washington that ran after that drugs, even informed our government ahead of time that some kind of consignment coming. And that consignment that is coming is $100 million worth of drugs coming. It's drugs. Today, we were able today to even arrest that amount of drugs and even destroy it. So, my brother, who's going to save us from all of the kind of troubling news, troubling times, especially for our poor people?
Maybe nobody going to speak for us because there's common saying that says the child we can hear will feed. Charter said no president of Liberia can make it without being online with Washington. So the very day on that independence celebration, when I saw the president clapping for the lady speech, I said, we'll finish. We'll finish. Nobody going to speak for us. Nobody going to speak for us. Because the president, he doesn't care. But you know the bad thing about it? Whether things get hard in this country, the president will say if he will say in your house. Whether gas price go up, hard racket, the president can't stay move. Whether rest is expensive, the president will still get rest in his house. So the ordinary Liberians are the one who suffer the consequences. So I think it is time that we Liberians stand up against these things our leaders are doing. Because as you said, Chief Siri Allen said 30 years he been on session, but it doesn't affect him. Because what? He has everything to his disposal. If he have people working for him, he have fun. So kind of make you censure him. It meaningless. It's meaningless. Only the ordinary Liberian will suffer because Liberians have to go out there, do their daily run around before even they come home to eat, to find food for the children, to even find school fees for the children. But again, we Liberians have the power in our hands during election time to tell the people to go sit aside. They don't mean well. They don't mean any good. They don't mean any good. Yet another man he said that 9 years. What he has to do is nothing. If for the next 10 years, sanction on him, you that's survive. So I think Liberia is just unfortunate for us in this country. Nobody on top of us. Who can say, that God get all? Maybe God on top of us. People. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. So, by set 45, we'll be moving to the other stuff. But quickly, let me go back to Monk because Monk was saying a lot of things. Is in talking about the kind of thing that we'll be going through if some of these things are now being handled carefully. But again, Monk, let me come back to you quickly before we transition. So, apart from in case maybe Liberia, let's just say the way. In case Liberia decide maybe to remain quiet and say, well, Washington, we have no case, we wrong, or we will file silent consent. So, what's going to happen next? Maybe with Washington pardon Liberia and say, or maybe they just want for Liberia to admit the facts and say, yeah, we're wrong, and please forgive us.
Well, the thing is about compliance issue and meeting their standard for passport in establishing a very strong routine over there that will close some loopholes, most especially when it comes to criminal and drug dealer and money launderer. Because every time you engage in this kind of a business, you want to put the country at risk. I'm talking about the vast majority of the people. I'm not talking about elected officials. For them, they are well off financially. They can survive. They can be able to withstand any economic shock that will happen in the country. The thing we always advocate here for young people in ordinary Liberia, because no matter what, Mabel, do you think a Magyar could care whether he's placed on sanction or not? When he can fly to other countries around the world and buy a ticket at any given point in time, maybe in some instances ride a private jet. Do you think Maya Nugwe could care about sanction? No. The regular people are the one that will have to worry about these things. The ordinary people. Those are the people that we advocate for on Sktv here. And we keep talking about the issue of good governance, about making better choices during election to stay away from criminals and people that are in the bad books of our international partner. Everything international partner, but why you cannot play by the rules? Because if you play against the rules, then it's the same as they're respecting your international partner. The last time I could tell that nine embassies in the country, right, from foreign services or diplomatic mission, they even threaten our government that if the funds were never put back, you can remember under the Weah administration when those people from the embassy signed, I think from 9 different countries, saying that if we cannot remit those funds, we will end up blocking aid coming to this country. So who do you think we're going to feed away? It's not going to be Weah. It was the people, the regular, everyday people that look up to other sources just to get by on a day-to-day basis. That's just why it is. So I don't know about pardon. Since Labrador plays in the category of compliance, they must do the right thing to be in good books. That's just why it is. Play by the rules. Do the right thing. Because this passport, I don't know, maybe some of them believe the foreign ministry only exists for selling illegal passport, because that's the kind of a mindset. No, there are so many ways you could make money. That's why we're applauding the president move when he talked about, streamlining the visa on arrival process, making the country accessible so people can come. Because the more tourists, the more businesses you attract, the better the economy, you can generate more revenue. But yeah, we'll go within 48 hours. Look at the kind of a news we are giving to our people on the radio. So maybe I can't say more than what I can say, my brother. I'm just a regular guy.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Brother Cassidy. Even though Cyprian, we are the same, doing some work. But again, so we transition to the Nimba politics. Mind you, the National Election Commission gave their timetable for the Nimba by-elections. And for a matter of fact, the Nimba by-election will be on April 22nd, 2025. That is anytime next month, the 22nd of next month. So, Mark, the campaign starts, I think, from the 30th up to the 19th of April, and all of the campaign activities and everything will start hopefully from the 30th of this month to the 22nd, sorry, up to the 19th of next month. But I'm going to go back to the politics, the campaign, and so forth. What's the you with the Nimba County by-elections?
Almost 3 weeks before the entire project gets on the way. I mean, in terms of the length of the campaigning activities, but it seems like it's hitting already. It's almost like a proxy war, and that's what all these guys reported from Page Africa about. They think it's becoming the standard English in Liberian politics, because from the chairman's post, he said, if the vice president cannot stay neutral, then we are going to treat him like a regular citizen in Nimba County. But I don't know if in this case neutrality exists in Nimba County politics, because at the end of the day, you will have to pick a side. Even though it might look inappropriate saying he's the vice president, but you cannot take away the fact that he won't be putting his thumb on the scale directly or indirectly, because he got an endorsement in the race, and he knows his political future also hinges on the race in Nimba County. My only thing here is when it comes to the attraction and the kind of publicity, I don't know, because for me, the CNC candidate, even though he's a name, people know him, I don't know, Inspector General in the county, for some reason, like, people are talking about him and he getting more attention. I don't know if that's where the chairman is leaning with this argument about the vice president staying out of the race, but it seems like it's really hitting up before we can even start the process officially in Nimba County, and people are making their moves. Almost like politics, it's like a chess game. You got to play some psychological and mental game to get under your opponent's skin. But we'll keep watching that race. That race, I think, is more of a 3-horse race. It's not going to be an easy. The only problem I'm worried about is the participation, because our brother already gave an update from Nimba County that in terms of the voter education and some of the constraints with renewing voter ID, the card, and all that stuff, because of the poor quality of the material, most people cannot even locate. And looking at the economic circumstances, why would someone want to go and invest in voter card right now when they could take that money to buy something to farm food for themselves or their family? So we'll keep watching. It's just kind of interesting that it's becoming more of a proxy battle than people extending the legacy of Prince Johnson, if that's how you might consider it to be. So we see. We're still watching.
Maybe I've been in the background, but once you reach this point, talking about the elections in Nimba, then I thought to come in and weigh in on
come in, Cyprian Quality. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Good. Yeah, and let me say thank you, everyone, again for having me on the SKTV. And to you, Monk, how are you doing, Chief?
What's up? Not much. Great. Doing great. Thank God for life.
Okay, so it's going to be in your company. Well, talking about the elections in Nimba and the campaign, even though, like Nimba said, the campaign is set for the 30th of this month. Monk, you're right. Campaign already started here. Unofficial campaign already started here. This morning I had former Representative Garrison Yelu, who is one of those vying for the seat. He's an aspirant for the senatorial seat, the upcoming senatorial seat. He outrightly accused another colleague of his, Representative Samuel Koga, of already engaging in campaign activities. In fact, he said that those were illegal acts, but he, being a lawyer, could not engage in anything illegal, especially vying for the seat that is meant for people who make laws, to respect laws, of course. So he said he was not going to do that, but he accused Representative Samuel Koga of receiving 5 vehicles from the government of Liberia to use for this campaign. That is something that we need to verify.
Wow.
Yes. I've already spoken to some people who said, yeah, they've been seeing some new cars behind Representative Samuel Koga, and they themselves are wondering where he got it from. But some of his supporters have said the man got money. So one of them who phoned in on the show this morning said, but Representative Koga, even supported you, Garrison Yelu, when you were vying for the seat in 2020. So why now will you be, asking the man where he took money from to buy 5 cars? But Honorable Garrison Yelu has pressed us, the press, to go and find out, see the documentation of those vehicles, to really see how Honorable Koga acquired those vehicles. So I can tell you behind the scenes, yes, even though it's unofficial, but people are engaging. And in District 8, there was a scene in District 8 very recently, a few days ago, when Madam Ida Gongolo had gone there to do engagement. Now they're calling it engagement, they call it community engagement, but it's outrightly campaigning.
Yeah,
they went there. They went there, and according to their team, they got some resistance, and some harsh words came from the district representative. The district representative of District 8 here in Nimba is Honorable Sylvester Miana. He is the Nimba Legislative Caucus Chair. Since Senator Johnson died, they reshuffled and he became the caucus chair of the Nimba Legislative Caucus. So the camp of Madam Ida Gongolo, particularly the campaign chair of Madam Ida Gongolo, Spencer Glay, has accused Honorable Miana of intimidating them, telling them that that District 8 was a no-go zone for anybody besides Representative Samuel Koga, which, the lawmaker denied, but then admitted that, in fact, he told the team that the place was a no-go zone. So if you say you didn't intimidate people, you didn't say anything harsh, but you're admitting that, you told the people that place is a no-go zone. It's for Koga, they are supporting Koga, and all those kind of things. And so it's, indirectly you are also admitting to the allegations. But he came out on radio here, Radio Sacred Pierre, particularly to say it was false. He bought salt drink for he and Edith to drink together, but then he outrightly said that he told Edith that this was a time for a Guillaume man, that they have a minor senator, and at this time it was appropriate for a Guillaume senator. That's what Representative Sylvester Miana said. So the engagements are ongoing. For the camp of the CMC, I've not seen much since their pronouncement, since they unveiled their candidate. They've not been able to, come out like we see other people doing, going out in other districts. But I spoke with the chief of office staff, who is also the secretary general of the CMC, Wilfred Bangura, who confirmed to me that by next week they're going to be on fire here in the district. So it's calm in other areas, in other camps, but for the camp of the government candidate, is already burning hot.
Wow. So what you are telling us literally is they are already campaigning before the campaign time gets on the way. That's one.
They got banners up.
And
they're moving along with banners. They're moving along with banners. They're having almost every day there's an engagement from the government, candidate side. And it was at one of such occasions that he came out, talking about, that this was not a time for a female candidate, and women were not part of society, particularly the poorer society, when they say Keyo, because here in their dialect, when they say Keyo, it means closed door. That means people, those who are not part of the society, should go behind those. Go and close your door, you'll be inside. It happened to us. We are from Lofa County. We also can practice that. Yeah, but when it comes to politics, he was also lashed out for that. When it comes to politics, there is no KO. Many people say, so you don't go to the Capitol building talking society, talking tradition, or maybe so people lashed at him. It was also at that same occasion where he came out heavily against Representative Musa Belete. He has branded this party as a Vasiki party. He said a Vasiki party cannot.
So quickly, Stephen, I want sorry, let me call you off 30 seconds. I wanted to ask you this question when you were talking about recently Samuel Koga, maybe talking about his guillotine. This trouble politics is only seen or maybe people always maybe hearing about this trouble politics only in Nimba County. How come? Because Lofa County, when there's by-election, even Grand Gila County, to where I come from, when they're by-election, we don't care about which type of crime or which kind of crime. All we know, we are all one, and we just choose who's going to lead us. So that goes back with the trouble politics. A guillotine is I don't know, man on people time. How can these things continue to go over? In fact, with a lot of people been buying, or maybe people are also into the idea. What happened in Cyprian?
Yes, and that's what can normally surprise many of us, because you see, even educated people who we claim are level-headed, are supposed to go beyond tribal lines, that's supposed to be educating people about the negativities of tribalism and everything. When you see them engaging again, it's selfishness. In my mind, I believe it's greed, it's selfishness. That's what they use. That's the weak mentality. That's the weak vessel they use to push our people towards them. But truth be told, my man, you don't go to the Capitol building based on your tribe. That played a lawmaking representation oversight, but the whole thing that to surface this tribal thing surfacing, it came from, surprisingly, the current senator of this county, Honorable Yan Twain. Yan Twain was one of the first persons in the hierarchy of politics, leadership in this country, to take on to the radio and to the media to inform the people of Nimba County that he was already there. He's a man, man. He was already there, and there was no need to go the way of Madam Ida Gongolo way, because they are from the same tribe. So he said it was not, and it's surprising, it's saddening that people that Yan Twain and who people expect to be level, to come down to tribal lines now, again, is something that is hard to understand. But he was the first person who took to radio and went all out there informing the people of Nimba County that they should not they should not go the way of a Mano person, because he was already there representing the Mano tribe. It was the time now, it was appropriate for the Gio tribe. And if you come to think about it, in this country, I'm told they have six tribes here. They have 6 tribes. Amongst them, Madingo, B, I'm told Pele, all of these minority tribes are here. If you now start to, so like you're marginalizing the other tribes and you take them to be nothing. But again, this is rooted, tribalism is rooted here in this country. It surfaces every political elections, Every time there is elections here, tribalism will show face. In this district where we sit, District 7, that's why some of us today, many people see us as being biased, because we came here and preached that tribalism was not the right way to go. Tribalism could not buy you bread. You can't go in the market today and speak trap and they give you fish. You know, you can't buy gasoline by just speaking dialect or tribe. You know,
Wow.
So we should go beyond tribalism, but it comes from the educated people. So I feel that they see our people as being gullible, they see our people as not being so sophisticated, so they will use that. That's weakness in my mind. But unfortunately, it takes root here many times in almost every election.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, CPO Cody. We have a minute up to 7 o'clock to go for our news break. Aisha, we do that here on the SKTV show. But again, quickly, in 30 seconds, Mr. Kanaja joining us. So I don't know, Mr. Kanaja want to say hi because we're already going out for the
Yeah. So I just want to say hi to you guys and say kudos to Cyprian and you guys for making this possible. But I just in 30 seconds, if the government people, Koga people preaching tribalism in terms of being a Gio people town or Mono people town, Koga is not the only Gio man in the race. Koga is the only Gio man that is not even qualified. So we have other Gio people now. So if that's the case now, then Mike Bluon is the answer. Because Mike Bluon is qualified more than Koga. Koga already got a position. Koga is already representative. He got 6 years. 1 year just gone. You know, he still got 5 years. Let him go back, continue to serve in the House of Representatives, so Mike Bluon can go and represent. We from other tribes in Nimba County, that's okay. We don't have a problem with it. Putting the Gio in business, but this time around, the other Gio man is not qualified, and one Gio man is qualified, which is Mike Bluon. So let's go and vote for Mike. Mike's mother is Mono woman, and his father is Gio. So Mike is very qualified to be the next senator.
Yep, that could be a legitimate argument saying they want to play the tribal. I mean, can you imagine coming from Jan Twine or all people? I thought he was victim of this as well. At a certain point, they said the county was represented by 2 Gios, so they needed a mono. And now I don't understand our politics sometimes, man. But that's it. That's Liberia for you. Wow. It's Mabon. Mabon, are you there? I think they are going over to studio.
Good evening, RCA News Bulletin at 7 and Nakita Roberts. In an effort to address the issue of waste disposal at the JFK Memorial Hospital, House Speaker Richard Cohn has broken ground for the construction of a modern incinerator at JFK. Foreign Minister Sarah Yanti has expressed shock over reports that the United States government has imposed visa restriction on Liberia. The management of the ERWA hospital has responded to information circulating on social media regarding a patient on their watch. And out of Liberia, Wanda has caught diplomatic ties with Belgium, saying it has been constantly undermined by the European nation during the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Foreign Minister Sarah Yanti has expressed shock over reports that the United States government has imposed visa restriction on Liberia. Minister Yanti said she is doubtful about the authenticity of the reports, suggesting that Liberia may have been placed on a list as a yellow line country by the United States, potentially leading to restricted access for Liberian citizens. Speaking at a public hearing before the Senate Joint Committee on Foreign Affairs and Defense, Security and Intelligence, Minister Yanti cautioned against accepting the unverified reports as fact, while reaffirming Liberia's commitment to strengthening its diplomatic and passport security measures. The dean of the Liberian cabinet noted that while the government is taking the issue seriously, there is no official confirmation of Liberia's inclusion on such list. Minister Yanti, however, revealed that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has issued demarche to the US government outlining Liberia's recent efforts to enhance passport security and requesting further clarification on the matter. She said the Liberian government has been approached by the US government directly on several occasions to say that its capacity in the US is very weak, that there was a need for overhauling of the entire foreign service in the US. In an effort to address the issue of waste disposal at the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital, House Speaker Richie Cohn has broken ground for the construction of a modern incinerator at the JFK. The cost of the project is 20,000 USD and is expected to be completed within 90 days. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony on Monday, Speaker Cohn said the hospital is overwhelmed with lots of financial challenges, something he said prompted his decision to help. Speaker Cohn noted that the project, when completed, will help the hospital divert the US $74,000 is spent annually for garbage disposal to more pressing issues at the facility. The House Majority Speaker informed the management of JFK that he has started dialoguing with his colleagues on the matter of budget increment for the hospital. He also disclosed plans to move the building of the nursing school at JFK to transfer the students and create more space for patients at the hospital. For her part, the Chief Executive Officer of JFK Memorial Hospital, Dr. Leonard Burge, termed the initiative as a huge step in the garbage collection process at JFK, noting that waste disposal has been a huge problem for the hospital over the years. Dr. Burge expressed thanks and appreciation to Speaker Richard Cohn, the national legislature, and President Joseph Boakai for the initiative. The management of the ELWA hospital has responded to information circulating on social media regarding a patient on their watch. Over the weekend, social media was flooded with statements from a patient identified as James Eto Crumman, who is said to be in critical condition. She alleged that the management of ELWA carried out a cesarean section, CS, resulting to serious life-threatening complications. James Eto Crumman, in a write-up after the surgery, she's currently battling with kidney failure, liver malfunction, removed womb, uterine collapse, burns, among others. Responding to the situation in an interview on Monday, the chief administrator at ELWA, Reverend James Freeman Garway, on behalf of the hospital, empathized with James Eto Crumman and her family and advised the family of James Eto for further disclosed that ELW Hospital is actively conducting her own internal review on James Eto case, noting that the hospital also remains fully committed to cooperating with the Liberia Medical and Dental Council's ongoing investigation. The chief administrator at ELWA, on behalf of the hospital, said their thoughts and prayers are with the family of James Eto Crumman. Labour Minister Councillor Cobra Crowell has resolved outstanding issues between workers of the Firestone rubber plantation and its management team. Councillor Crowell said it is always appropriate to ensure that issues confronting the concessions are brought on the negotiation table to be resolved. Speaking during the signing ceremony of a collective bargaining agreement which brought together the workers and the management of Firestone Workers Union over the weekend in Congo Town, Councillor Crowell urged the management of Firestone to put a halt on subcontracting companies, which has been some of the factors affecting the workers. Some of the issues signed in the agreement include increment in wages, retirement service benefits, and overtime. Meanwhile, speaking on behalf of the workers, Marcus Blummer, Secretary General of the Liberia Labour Congress, lauded Minister Crowell for his intervention aimed at solving the long-standing issue that have long confronted the workers of Firestone. He said with the signing of the CBA, the workers at least will realize 50% of their wages after they are retired. For his part, the public relations officer of Firestone Rubber Company, Richie Falar, lauded both the Ministry of Labor and the Workforce for resolving the long-standing issues which have crippled the operation of Firestone Liberia. The Minister of Education, Dr. Jasso Jalai, has officially welcomed the West African Examination Council's WACS to Liberia, marking a significant moment for the nation's education sector. The meeting held at the Ministry of Education brought together educators and leaders to discuss key priorities for advancing learning outcomes across the region. In her address, Minister Jalai expressed proud in Liberia hosting this year's prestigious assembly, underscoring both the challenges and opportunities facing the country education sector, while acknowledging that Liberia is not shortlisted for any accolades or prize this year. She described this as a call to action, an opportunity to intensify efforts towards achieving greater academic excellence. She urged teachers, students, and policymakers to unite in a shared commitment to measurable progress that will elevate Liberia's standing in the WACS community. Two senior experts from FTR Consulting, Andrew Dorrant and Wayne Antonin, are expected in Liberia this Tuesday, March 18, 2025, to support the country's asset recovery efforts. The Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force, through a release, disclosed that the FTR Consulting visit to Liberia is at no cost to the government and is a major step aimed at tracing and recovering stolen assets. FTR Consulting is globally recognized for its work in forensic investigations and assets tracing, having helped recover stolen funds in several countries, including Nigeria. According to the release, Durant and Anthony bring decades of experience in financial fraud investigation across Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. The Assets Recovery Task Force, led by Councillor Edwin Martin, is now operating under Executive Order 145, reaffirming President Bouakai's commitment to fighting corruption. The Assets Recovery team says it looks forward to working with these experts to strengthen Liberia's assets recovery efforts. Under the leadership of Councillor Edwin Martin, the Assets Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force is dedicated to investigating both fixed and liquid assets misappropriated by current and former government officials. Two law enforcement officers visiting Liberia from the United States have underscored the importance of adherence to the rule of law in any nation. Both Special Deputy Curtis Bryant and Peggy Lacade said there is nothing about the rule of law and want law enforcement officers continue to implement the rule of law if the country is to be developed. Speaking in Painesville at the opening of a traffic enforcement techniques workshop, Bryant and Lacade also cautioned officers of the Liberian National Police to always see themselves as the first point of contact in law enforcement. Also speaking, Commissioner of Police for Training and Manpower Development, Simeon Mova, cautioned officers to take training and workshop organized by the police very seriously. According to him, trainings and workshops organized by the police will be of value added to themselves and their family. Mova said training is good and urged officers to always attend training, stressing that the strength in crime has taken a different trend across the world. The assigned Georgia Civil Law Court is recommending to the National Legislature and President Bouakai to pass an act subdividing the 6 judicial circuit courts into 3 divisions in the interest of speedy administration of justice. George Smith once favored assigned Court A to have exclusive jurisdiction over injectments and property-related cases. Civil Law Court B with jurisdiction over action of damage, equity, suit, action for declaratory judgment, and other special proceedings. For Civil Law Court C, Judge Smith said it should be created as a family court with jurisdiction over actions of divorce and other family-related issues, so that more time will be devoted to dealing with the highly emotional and time-consuming issues involved in family matters. Judge Smith disclosed that on the court docket, the number of divorce and family-related cases is 485. Number of property cases that's locked in judgment is 483. Each of these categories of cases exceeds the total number of cases on the docket. Judge Smith, according to RCR judicial correspondent, made a statement Monday at the opening of the civil court for its March term at the Temple of Justice. The March term opening of the court is consistent with Chapter 3, Section 3.8 of the Judiciary Law of Liberia. And out of Liberia now, Rwanda has caught diplomatic ties with Belgium, saying it has been constantly undermined by the European nation during the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Brussels has been leading calls for European nations to sanction Rwanda over its support for the M23, a rebel group at the center of the DR Congo's crisis. The authorities in Kigali, Rwanda's capital, has given Belgian diplomats 48 hours to leave the country. Belgium, which is the former colonial power, has said it will respond to these measures and label Rwanda's decision as disproportionate. Despite assertions from the UN and US, Rwanda has denied backing the M23. In a statement on Monday, Kigali accused Brussels of attempting to sustain its neo-colonial delusions. During this newscast, a recap of the top stories. The management of the ERW hospital has responded to information circulating on social media regarding a patient on their watch. In an effort to address the issue of waste disposal at the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital, House Speaker Rachel Cohn has broken ground for the construction of a modern incinerator at the JFK. Foreign Minister Sarah Bess-Loyanti has expressed shock over reports that the United States government has imposed visa restriction on Liberia. And out of Liberia, Rwanda has caught diplomatic ties with Belgium, saying it has been constantly undermined by the European nation during the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's our CNN News Bulletin. I'm Selvina Benakita Roberts.
We will not allow small children to tell market when they should be in school. They should be in school. We will not allow those young ladies to go in the street all day yourself. The money you make can't even buy rice. We can't do it. We want to put dignity on our people. And that's why we're here. That's the mission we have. And I can assure you, if you check your calendar, it's exactly 4 months from today. Today's the 10th, right? When is the election? You start checking. 4 months to the date. After 4 months, you will see a new Liberia coming up. You'll see a Liberia that will give you hope. You'll see a Liberia where corruption will be king of the country.
Well, you're listening to News Bulletin right here on Truth FM 96.1. The opportunity is here to join the station again. That will be at 8 o'clock on tonight, by which time we'll bring you 45 minutes news coming from our newsroom right here on Truth FM. So, folks, we are continuing with the SKTV show. We have the other time to go. So, if you're there, please don't do that. Let me see. I better get all of my team back on. So, among Mr. Cullen and Brother Cassidy, we're back after the news bulletin, and I guess maybe you were following. If some of you were following, well, some of the things quickly, or among that maybe that caught your attention, the news bulletin.
Oh, not much except for that lady from the ERW hospital, because I saw her video. I never had the details of that story, but at least the news bulletin gave me some insight about her ordeal. It's what's happening in terms of a medical standpoint. I don't know. I think it was medical malpractice, because for her to list all the conditions, it has to be something very serious. So I don't know. But that's it. That's Liberia, my brother. You know, I laughed when I saw that video from the president. You know, the president came, he promised dignity, restoring dignity and economic emancipation, only to land on a travel ban list and, and if possible, some sanctions. He told them that that country did for their liberation.
Because how many more months? And they put 4 months, right? So
No,
They were, they
how
were,
many
they were,
days? How
they
many
were
more
counting
days?
too.
But that was October 10, I think so, and then 14.
yes, they make how many? Okay, how many days from now, right? How many days or how many months from now on, your life going to change? And unfortunately, that didn't happen. Anyway, they may take that time. Who knows? Maybe sometime the football game, Monk, you can just conclude. But Monk, in a same news bulletin, listen to our newscaster, and she, I think, when it comes to the part of the foreign affairs minister, I think she was also talking about the woman or the minister also feeling disappointed with some of the representatives in the U.S. who are representing Liberia in the U.S. But again, I know that's not really caught my attention from the
But
news
I don't know why she's
bulletin.
shifting the blame to folks out of the country when they are the one that said the stand up for the foreign mission from Liberia, because even the people that issuing passport state needs to come from Liberia. So I don't know, and they are working under the mandate of the foreign ministry, even though their operation is being ran, controlled from overseas, but it still falls on the lap of the foreign minister and her ministry. That's just where it is. So it still within her jurisdiction of power. I don't know why she want to shift the attention to the people overseas. I don't get it. I can't make sense of it. But you know, the information our brother gave us here from Nimba County, you know, it's kind of interesting. That's why I don't put too much pressure on our local people, the people who we claim not to be the most educated, because some of the folk that you believe that went to school, when you can just accept that way of thinking and their kind of a mindset, it makes you weak. That's why I don't place too much expectation on the regular folks. Look how a guy like Nan Twine, or a man who was one victim of the same tribal politics, he think that it's more of a Mano versus guillotine. Because if you want to go that route, then why can you not incorporate the other ethnic minorities in the county? St. Prince Johnson was a guillotine. Now you are Mano. Why you can say, okay, since we got we people here or Bata people here too, why they cannot become a beneficiary of the system in Nimba County? If you want to make that argument now, because it's the same about suppressing people, and his statement is in total alignment with what Koga been preaching about the divisive politics that women shouldn't be, at the seat or at the table, and you want to downplay. Matter of fact, you're not the only Geo candidate in the race. Or the CMC guy is also a Geo man. So what make you think that you are entitled just by virtue of your tribe or your tribal lineage that you want to marginalize other people? And that's why I felt on Nimba County election, when it comes to the participation rate and the government putting her thumb on the scale in terms of resources and giving some people like a blank slate to just go ahead and campaign because they are the one in power. It's exactly the same thing, maybe. And that's why you might likely see in 2029 the same old playbook. Nothing changed. You cannot rule out tribal politics whether you like it or not. It's just the reality.
So that means to just add up to what our colleague was saying here, and Mr. Kana also chipping on that also before the news break. Okay, if you say that maybe you want, or maybe you want to have a tribal balance, like, but for me, I think that's not really a good thing to talk about, because the issue of tribal, I mean, is not taking us anywhere. Tribal religions and so forth. For me, I'm really here to talk about this thing. But okay, so for the argument's sake, like you are saying, Mark, saying okay, you're not talking about, all right, people have, I don't know, quote unquote, Mano senator, so you want to have Gio senator.
Yes.
Then, okay, then you take yourself from that, because you have so many Gio people now into the race, the Monk say. Okay, good. So that made entire argument balance and say, okay, say you want now to have a Gio senator, then you step back and give chance to people like Mark Brion, who also here on the CPP, and let me say CPP, sorry, from the CMC, for him to be able to represent the Gio or maybe tribe like you are talking about, instead of you using the kind of a way of running campaign. For me, I think that's just so terrible for us, Monk, and some of us won't stay there and give credit to it, because we have generation that coming after us. So when we start to encourage all of these things in the name of tribal politics, religious politics, and all the things, I don't think we'll be going anywhere. So
no, we are not.
Yeah. So
No,
I think
therefore, I
yeah.
think I think Nimba County is not only hosting two traps. They got other traps in Nimba County. So the issue of tribal politics, I don't think is necessary for now, because if you have more than two traps there, so you it means that you have to give space to other people too. Okay, but the only thing I love about the Nimadian, after the whole process, they take their country based. I mean, first, all of the noise you see after the election, Nima first, Nima last. So the tribal politics only come, I mean, the tribalism will only come during election time, where you see they want to share the candidate among the two traps. But again, this too is my bureau now. Nima.
Good. Okay, so let me kind of comment a little bit and chip in the entire Nimba politics, especially with the trouble politics battle. But Mr. Kane, you were talking, and unfortunately, sorry that we had to go for the news break. Are you sure? But welcome. At least we have a little time now to talk.
Yeah, thank you. So maybe I'll send you a text message when it comes to the news bulletin. You can read it. It's the easiest thing to do when people, especially when we're connected with radio, Circular PA, 2 FM, Circular PA. All you need to do is just to meet everybody and then highlight the newscaster, and then everybody can be in the background, but they will not be disconnected. But if we remove everybody, then it can be a problem. So it's easy to do it. I text you how what to do, just for the future. When you do this bulletin coming like that, you can leave everybody there. Just make sure you highlight the newscaster so she can be on the screen. Everybody else can be in the back. You don't have to remove everybody. So, I listened to this whole idea of, tribal politics in Nimba County. It is, inarguable fact that Mano and Gio are the predominant tribes in Nimba County. We have Madingos, we have Kran, we have Bee, we have other tribes that are also citizens of Nimba. But let's agree, for the sake of argument, since they are playing tribal politics, we have a lot of other, Gio people in the race. We have Mark Bloom, who is a Gio, who also his mother is Omano. We have Garrison, who is also a Gio man. So the fact that Koga already was elected by the people of District Number 5, that Koga forgot about this thing, maintain his position, start being greedy. We have other qualified sons and daughters of Nimba County that can be qualified to serve. So if we're going to go by the own politics of tribal politics, that means Koga already has a position. He's not qualified to run. And then Edith Gonglo is also a Mano. Nyatonya's account, so she's also disqualified. Then in the race now, we're going to have Mr. Honorable Mark Bluon and also Garrison Yelu. So that means the election should be between Garrison Yelu and Mark Bloom, since indeed it's about representation by tribe. Since we have already Mano made there, who is also telling you that do not campaign for another Mano person, and also telling you that it's time for a Gio person to serve. If that's what the government wants, then that's fine. They are easily campaigning for Mike, informing the Nimba people to support Mike. So I listened to also my brother Cyprian talking about how Mike and the CMC were now doing a lot of engagement since the announcement. Yes, since engagement on go now the market women, they got on the street to welcome Mike. Imagine it was not announced. It was not scheduled whatsoever. And yesterday in Ganta, young people, almost 300 of them, got together and told Mike they want to support him because they feel like Mike is young and they are young people. They know the future of the young people is at stake, that they want to make sure that they support Mike. That was not, because it's not on Facebook or because it's not advertised or broadcast, doesn't mean it's not happening. But we are not campaigning. The reason why we are not campaigning because it's against the law to campaign before the stipulated time. Today, in Sunny College, Mike was invited by 3 different groups of women endorsing him, telling him, say, he's the one they want. That they will do everything. They will campaign for him when the campaign time reaches. They will campaign for him to make sure he's elected. So, a lot going on in the back. People who are supporters of Mike and the CMC, they've been law-abiding. They've been doing things in the back, engaging community, but they're not campaigning. But then, this government being very lawless, carrying flyers, carrying campaign banners and things around, officially campaigning without campaign, schedule, not respecting the law. But the guy who is leading the campaign in that country, in that Nimba there, right now, that is Samuel Koga. Samuel Koga is not known for respecting the law. He's known for being, law broker who also championed the current stalemate in the House of Representatives. He was the leader. He is still the leader of creating problems, bringing embarrassment to the House of Representatives and to Liberia. So Samuel Koga does not believe in the rule of law. He does not believe in respecting the law. He does not believe in respecting the people of Nimba County. So yes, Samuel Koga will continue to campaign. Mike and the CMC will start campaigning when the campaign time reaches, and everybody will see it will be like political earthquake that we're going to overtake Nimba County. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Cannon. We have probably about 29 more minutes to go on this show. So, Mark, quickly, I think we got to...
we'll go to the line. I sent you a message already. That how we update it. And then we can go to the line directly and take from our people and then respond to their call because we are out of time.
Yes, indeed. So, okay, so good. So, folks, Mr. Cannon, another thing before we go to the line to interact with our people because they already started.
No, we're good. Let's have ample time to go to the line.
Okay, so that's great. So, thanks to all of you. And, folks, we are about to go to the line. Please, we talk about 2 major issues. The first one have to do with the visa restrictions on Liberia, and also we chip in with the by-elections in Nimba County. So quickly, let me go to the line to interact with our people. Hello to this first caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Nimba, and let me say good evening to your fellow panelists. This is David King, and I do join you for spending this evening. You see, when you are given the responsibility to lead, I think we should lead and stop the many complaints. There were a lot of things done by the Unity Party that the CDC-led government did not go, blaming or shifting blame on the Unity Party for those things that happened under the 12-year rule. Yes, it is true that some official of President Weah government was sanctioned for some that reason, but it does not give us the understanding that what happened today to this government, what is about to happen, that are not bipartisan. The one Gray, who was elevated by this government, she was once accused by the very United Party. But what did we see? She was given another bigger task at the foreign ministry by Joseph Yuma Boakai. So that is to tell you, Joseph Boakai is not agent of change. But we are here in a vicious cycle where the Liberian people now are going to suffer. They blunder from the Unity Party. Why it is true that government official was censored, but we Liberians are also being censored now for going to America. For example, people, if I have some health complication, my family member want to take me there, and I would not go.
When the visa, yeah, thank you so much. So when the visa restriction hold now, but for now on, they call you for 60 days for negotiation for you to talk. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor, and to your panelists.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
This is Brother Chill, I think, calling from Kings 80 tomorrow. Look, shipping colleagues, I think you went to Nimba to do a piece of job. But when it comes to Nimba politics, be careful about it. You are telling me to say Kai will Nimba close door. Kai does not mean close door. So you don't understand politics, don't put it.
What it mean when it say Tao? Is it Tao or what? Tell you what?
Go inside.
Okay.
That when they say go inside, now you lying to say it's a closed door. He doesn't know what Nimba.
No, it's just saying something. Yeah, it's not about a trap. He's not from that trap, dude.
And secondly, when it comes to Nimba, where country you don't have this session, even here in Magidi, when the central agreement go on, they say upper Magidi was the one lower Nimba. You always had it, but you look at Nimba to be sure that kind of way I want Nimba.
Upper and lower far different from trouble.
No, I can't. You know, at the C-section, listen. At the C-section, listen. Don't say upper and lower demand for tower, listen. And the same segregation. So they think our countries. Some people can say, look, they job I had here before, I get it. So when it comes to Nimba politics, we know that we're united. I don't care what we do. Somebody referred said in there to one of your panelists that all the work elections or Nimba gets together. So
all right, thank you so much. 0770203125, please. 1 minute. We want other people to also call in to be part of the show. Yes, so the number to call is 0770-203125 or 0770-203125. That's the number to call this evening to be part of the SKTV show right here on 2FM 96.1. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, my brother, okay, thank God, go ahead.
What's the difference from go inside and close door?
My brother,
go inside and close door. That is same. When you go inside, you always close door.
How can you force somebody to go inside and close door? My talking point has to do with the issue about the U.S. Melbourne, the U.S. do not mean good for us in this country. If you were discussing about the last year celebration, Independence Celebration Day, the auditor that spoke, she grieving. I said, we are grieving. Why is the good thing America is doing for this country? Why they can't open door for us when we are ally on America? Why they can't open door for us? You were discussing, okay, this guy.
So you want the visa restriction to be on Liberia?
For me, it left with me. I wanted them to restrict it to leaders of this country because they don't need business. Let them forget about the poor people who are making their way to survive. Let them restrict it to our leader of this country. None of them should go to America because this is the reason why America they don't want to see this country improving. Because they have the right to improve this country, but they don't want to do it. So everything is about America. When they see money, they go to America, they go to other good countries, they live their life. So if America sanction themselves from going there, I will be happy. That visa restriction for some of us, we happy, but let that be restricted to other people that are.
All right, thank you so much. Let me be restricted to other people.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, go ahead quickly.
This is Brooks and the ones they are calling for electoral district number 7, Nimba County.
Simple, so start taking calls. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for the platform this evening. I heard your point with the issue of Nimba politics. I think you can say in Moravia and don't know if you get of Nimba politics. Nimba is a different country, but it doesn't have their own way of running politics. Because with the statement that was made by one of your co-presenter with statement made by Representative Samuel Government Oga. So the tradition is meant to be respected. And once you don't know nothing about the tradition, you just feel new and forget about the tradition. Because if you go
that route traditionally, then that means that the elder coming to come in for it. Because why you can't make anyone else to talk about okay, you have nothing to do with it. Just visit because you don't know the tradition. So with the issue with the visa restriction of Liberia, now for me, I embrace that idea. Because most of our citizens, when they wake up, they want to go to America, government officials want to go to America, they live in their own country, live in limbo. Because they don't have the mindset to come and develop their country. So they only want to go and sit in the diaspora to live their luxurious life. That's why you see the need of deportees that were sent out in Africa, it was too much. Because most of them went illegal into the people country, they're doing nothing for themselves. Even the family that are left behind, they didn't even care for them. So there's visa restriction for me. I embrace that idea for the U.S. government. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to this caller. Take 1 or 2 and cross over to Cyprian Corey. Hello.
Good evening, neighbor. How you doing?
I'm okay. Thank God for life. Go ahead, my dear.
The name is Kuma. They call Nimba. I am from District 4 in Nimba, residing in New York. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, we're listening to you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, Nimba politics is very, very simple. Most of the time, you see history as personal thing. The Muslim one is a Nimba can you if me to go inside close door. He is saying, women should not be who can say in Nimba country. We can learn people in Nimba country, even want to say what the law, even at the people in Nimba running campaign. But a campaign stay ahead of us. It's a law breaker. So that was get clear to say, that's very wrong. This country is a law country. We love this country. Same 18 for example, culture has. But up to now, no law in this country. Let us say, we've been there for 13 and nothing has come to that. So even if they're breaking your home, hey man, why should we not why we get come together and forget? They say, well, what's up? Either put the main to join what their body, their tradition in your home. We know what they want when he said. Don't say what that. Don't focus on other people. Thank you, God bless you, man.
Thank you so much. The last call. Cyprian Corey, I don't know what he said. I'm ready to take calls.
Yes,
Hello,
yes, I'm ready. I got calls here.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. You'll be our last call, of course, over the Cyprian.
No, Mr. Koga, a few several days I pay should stop calling on the radio and talk about tradition. Where in the world tradition developed? Lofakan is one of the strange traditional country in Labro. How many development traditions are they want to tell in Lofakan? But the thing is that simple. Mr. Koga, a follower, don't have the argument. They have tangible to show the people and Nimba, so all they will have behind like tradition, local traditional politics. Tell the people after 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, 16 years, what you be able to do for them. Show your hand to deliverable. That is what the people of Nimba are asking of top politics about tradition. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's move straight to Cyprian Corey in Nimba County. Cyprian is on
in Nimba County, the numbers are 0887-224-214. 0772-566-515. Let's take our first caller. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Cyprian Corey, and let me say good evening to Newborn and all of the families. My name is about this one now. This is a very different family.
Go ahead.
Listen to the analysis, but what I can say is in Nimba country, when it comes to tribal and regional politics, it cannot propose there. So what I can say is Nimba politics will come around with tribal people, the issue of tribalism, to put it aside and look up for somebody who are put to take the best of the thing. I will come there because mind you, about 7, you want somebody. If your record comes for us, we're going to be taking to capital where you want to contest, then you buy national number. The first thing would be capital, we get capital, we will get contribution, and we will get sure because we are in more than this position. We should be up to the task because I never in capital city, people who are there to guide, who are to go to electoral issues. Not about get you or not get you. So the issue of get you, what to dispel that. It's not a business about it. So thank you very much for the platform.
Thank you very much. Let's take another caller. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor and your co-host in the diaspora.
What's your name? Where do you join us from?
Peter the
are not in control. Joseph Walker has created more harm for this particular country and has been good. That is so powerful. And that they have cracked down on the rule of law. Those are the international character law. You look at police brutality, subjudicial killing. You look at the entire legislature being destroyed by a commandant, just like a mob worker, which you see. Like this thing happening, then you expect America and be happy with you. And we articulated this into their support, but they don't listen. They don't want us to believe that, oh, it's real or any. It's just like a mob worker and police that are community government. They are the one that created this particular calamity for the people of Liberia. And we are just appealing to Donald Trump that the visa restriction should be on the active those government officials, Joseph Walker and his guy in government.
Thank you. You made a point. Let's hear from another caller. Good evening from Nimba County and across Liberia.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening. What's your name? Where do you join us from?
Yeah, my name is Wilson Fleming. I do join position of Nimba County to serve the
You are live on Sktv, Truth FM. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. You know, I do listen to the people. All people can see that Nimba is just a country for a particular set of people. Because for instance, you know, sometimes I was so surprised with the few days where my ear goes, our phone or something today. And we also answered she was enough to on brand that was our area of campaign. So I just want for my own call to all international or whoever are going to be on the election in Nimba. They should also deploy, regulatory authority that will come here to see how well they can conduct the entire process in Nimba, because we can see some out of conflict, because they are not proceeding with military government. The government is actually making to go extra mile. So we need actually transparency in the entire process in Nimba.
Thank you very much. Let's take another caller.
Don't give anybody more than 1 minute. Otherwise, they're going to take over the whole show.
Okay, so let me take you. Welcome. Good evening. You're holding the line. Okay, let's replace you. Let me call the numbers again. 0887 224 214 0772 566 515. This is Sktv show, and of course, it's on Truth FM here in Nimba County. Call. Okay, maybe no call for now. Maybe you're muted. Okay, let me take this call. Let me just take my last call. Now I'll leave you. Hello.
All right. Yeah, quickly, Stephen, let's back home. Yeah, allow to this caller. Go ahead.
Nimba, the message you got a last call.
Maybe let me just take two calls here now.
You have two people talking now.
Because in Nimba, you use the word marginalized or marginalization. In Nimba, we don't believe in marginalization. We believe, especially for election, we believe in what people have done for the country, not individual. We don't believe in marginalizing people. There are other people who have been elected in representative position that you know your father or that you know the record.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, so Stephen, go ahead quickly. Because my line is
okay, let me take it from my end. Let me just take the last two from my end, then I will allow you to take the rest of the course. No time on the show this evening. Good evening. Okay, maybe on nowhere. No.
All right, so let me move quickly. Uncle Brian Tate, good evening.
Yeah, maybe good evening, and good evening to Sebron and the folks in the U.S. You know, it's the travel politics thing. You know, I think Mon said it one time. He said politics is local, but sometimes you gotta be careful how you do local politics with travel politics, because it's not a good thing. Sometimes the ignorant can suffer for it. I can remember a certain time when we had to over newly, there was a gentleman who was appointed from Barbie area there called Peter Campbell, and then the sales senator Honorable Johnson, the late PB to the Archie, disagreed that he shouldn't take seat. And the court and he never took seat. So these are some of the bite latches. And you know, but when they want to vote, then they go to the people to vote them. So it's not a good thing.
if you're making your politics, even you can go to the people, whether it can be 10 government to be or representative and senator. Yes, but tell your case to the people, but do not divide the people on travel basis. It's not a good thing.
Thank you so much, Uncle. I think we have roughly about 11 more minutes to go. I want the team of Parliament to be ready that maybe to respond to all of the calls. But again, we'll take 1 or 2 more calls. If we got call, if not, then let me continue here so that I take 1 or 2 more calls. Then I cross over to our team. Hello, quickly to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Alfonso B. I live in Bonans Farm. I've been listening to the topic. You know, one thing, I'm also a Nimbanian, but one thing we want people to understand is that we Nimbanians are not tribalistic to say man or man, you man, no. We go for what we want.
Cool.
Let us watch the election and see how Nimba is going to make the decision.
Thank you so much. I like that. I think we're just close on that, or maybe any calls can quickly. Then we'll go into that. But I think quickly. Let me see this caller. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Sktv. I joined you somewhere from the country community. I've been fired from Gates Lake Dollar. Brother Lebron, let me be good to you. Like the Nimba policy, my point of contention is the Nimba policy. If the government has decided to carry someone in the country, let them forget about us that don't have anything in the election. Because all this information guarding around like what Brother Stephen is discussing, like even the representative of District 8 is making certain no-go zone decisions. It shows to some of us directly that if the government is deciding to just carry cocaine in the country to say it is the next representative, I think it will be good for us. And secondly, upon like the $5 US pertaining to lost cars, I don't think it's necessary that the government can give or net $2 million for that by-election, and then we will be able to pay cash for $5. It's not necessary. Thank you for permitting me to be part of the show.
Thank you so much for always following the SKTV show. Yeah, so Mr. Kane and that of Cyprian and that of Mark, but Cassidy, I think we got to give the little time now so that we can react. Yeah, so I don't know which one of you want to go first. Mr. Cannon or Monk, maybe Brother Cassidy, any of you?
Monk can go first. Then we'll go after him.
Well, I've been listening to the callers, and the only thing I can say here is I think I've seen a trend in the party, apart from the tribal politics, even though we would pretend like it doesn't exist, but I know that it exists, and maybe Nimba County might change the trajectory. I'm not sure on that based on what we're seeing from the government, because the government do have a candidate in this race. The idea of no-go zone, the idea that we should divide the senatorial post proportionally between Guillos and Mana, it's like everything is just making sense. And I don't know. We'll be looking up to the people of Nimba County to make the call, but from what I'm looking at, the only caller that called previously that talk about in this modern dispensation, which is looking at contribution, the merits, and the character. And apparently the government has figured out that Koga cannot fit that narrative. So it's all about sentimental politics, about marginalizing women, believing that someone is entitled because you want to extend the legacy. No, we want to hear about Koga's legacy. And I'm not only restricted to him, but I'm talking about any candidate in the race for that matter. Why we cannot compete on the merit? But when you put the pieces together from what Mr. Colley said earlier, the enthusiasm, the fact that some people are giving vehicles like logistical supply, the government, you hear the lack of non-twine talking about you cannot have 2 senators from the same tribal group. It just puts everything in the nutshell, and that's my fear. Until something can change dramatically, I don't know. It's still yet to be seen from the people of Nimba County. So I'm not going to rule it out. That's all I can say for now.
Yeah, so, you know, this is so funny to hear people attacking Cyprians. Whether you say go inside, you say close the door, it doesn't matter what you mean. The purpose is for you to go inside so you'll not be outside. And if you go inside, you don't close the door, you see everything that going outside, you're not even inside.
Then you stay outside.
So you stay outside. So go inside, close the door. It's the same thing, because the purpose is for you to go inside so you will not see whatever's going on outside. So those are calling, trying to, talk about the definition of the dollar in Gio or in Mano, that's not important. The nucleus of the conversation here is that certain people are told to go inside at certain time because they're not supposed to be outside because you have men, devil outside. So women supposed to go inside. That was the problem. And Koga was very emphatic. He was very clear. Koga said women are supposed to be in man game. For him, Prince Johnson was a man. So Prince Johnson is late now. So only a man can replace him. And if that's the case, he already has a position. Then you go back to representative position. So you can't cause the Liberian people another time again to go for another by-election. Imagine taxpayer going to be losing $2 million just for the by-election right now for the senatorial position. So we don't want Koga to come in there. Then they're going to cause us again another by-election. So we have other men in there for him. And a men like Koga and people that like go support Mr. Honorable Mike Bluon. That's another man who is credible, who has worked in Nimba County, who has name recognition, who has worked as inspector in the whole country, who has traveled all the 718 towns and villages in Nimba, who has the name recognition, has worked with traditional leaders and elderly people in our country for the betterment of Nimba County. Koga is a controversial person, and most of his supporters are trying to follow that trend. I want to call on all Nimba people. Our country is a peaceful country. We are now the breast basket of Liberia. Beyond that, when it comes to election in Liberia, Nimba County is a kingmaker. So we should not take our country for a joke. Koga is not serious. Koga is all about himself and greediness. You already have 6-year election. You got elected last year, 2023. Allow other Nimbayans to go in there and serve their people. And among all of them right now, Mike Bluon is the most qualified person because he has the experience of running the country. This guy here, Koga, could not even win his own district straight. Koga first put more than 4,000 people into his country, into his district, before he was even elected this time around. So Koga can't win the election directly. He can't win election, free and fair election, only if the government cheats for him. So that's why he's afraid. But since Koga, and their supporters, they're talking about tribalism and feminism as to man or woman or Loma, Mano or Gio, Koga is the most, corrupt person in the race. He's the one that is not qualified. And he is already a representative. To save the Liberian people some time and money, let Koga forget about it here. Let the race be between Mike and other people who are in the race. But Koga should not waste our time. Liberian people don't want no more confusion, no more controversy. Koga already, the problem he created in the House of Representatives still exists. Why you want to take them into the Senate again to go create more problem there? So I rest my case.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kana. Quickly, in passing, we have probably about 2.5 minutes.
I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you for the time. To my brother who called from Black Bar, Brooks. Yeah, I mean, I know the tradition as deep as it is, but it's not different from what we have in Ofa County. When you step closed door, it's closed door. And like my big brother Sekou said, when you close door, in fact, when you close door and spa in Ofa County, you can't leave. So then when you close, even when you just be to say you want to spa through the window, you're not surviving. So absolutely, it's meant to take some people out of the play and allow certain people to be in. That's all about it. Nothing about that. So yeah, thank you, man. We'll be here again tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Cyprian Cody. My brother, can I say it quickly in passing? 30 seconds. We got a little time.
Okay, thank you so much. And thanks to the mini callers. I think like Nimba has spoken and the Nimadians have already spoken. And I know, as I said, after the whole election, you'll see Nimba won, Nimba first, Nimba last. So all those things, is people saying it's just because of the election. Right after the election, Nimadians will come back together as Nimadians. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And let me say thanks to all of you, Brazilian Monk, Mr. Connor. Thank you so much for joining us. At least that's how it's supposed to be. Thank you to Cyprian calling also from Nimba County. And to all of you, our viewers, our listeners, all of you, let me say many thanks to all of you for also following this broadcast. Again, join us. That will be on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God by 6 o'clock. But from what I'm seeing is like the entire issue of the visa restrictions. I feel like they are not getting more interest into it, so we may likely bring that up again as another topic, maybe during the time of our broadcast. Thanks to all of you, and good night, my brother Joseph Conto. Good night to all of you, CD1 Jabo and James David. See all of you. Good night. I'm out on the SKTV show tonight. See you, all of you, and we'll catch you. That will be on tomorrow.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Following our people who waiting to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The project is giving us here and the promise from there. The work with my life without fear.
A lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again Sktv venue. C'est ma chenille, tina assez ma yamo. Engi sano muni, emuaye yo. Engi loba mui, emuaye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Nigeria ya tumale, Sktv, ena Nigeria, tosi wako maya tumale,
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Following our people who waiting to sell. The flesh, our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise from best. To work with my life without fear. From grandfather Nimba to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat to San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Maggie B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.